Okay. Hi guys, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about my Berklee College of Music audition. I did mine about a year ago now, but I thought it was still fitting because I remember around like July, August, I was thinking about what I wanted to do for my audition, so I thought it was a fitting time to film this video. For that reason, and also because when I was applying, I loved watching these kinds of videos just to like get as much information as I could going into it. I felt like there weren't a lot of videos, or maybe even still aren't, a lot of videos that are geared more for like a vocal audition and more specifically as like a songwriter. Songwriting is a huge major at Berklee that's just getting bigger, so I thought this would be helpful to a lot of people auditioning in 2019. The first step in the audition process is basically submitting your original application. Basically on their website, it's just a basic application that's just like your name, where you're from, what you want to audition on, when you want to audition. So it's super basic, nothing really complex about that. I submitted that around I think October, and then I put to audition in Los Angeles only because that's where I'm living. There isn't a benefit to auditioning here, and you can audition in Boston if you want to, and also those aren't the only audition sites. They do pretty international audition sites, so wherever you're living, Berklee is very accommodating to places you can audition to. So if I'm remembering correctly, Los Angeles had like a November 15th audition date, and they had like a February something. I chose November. To be honest with you, I have no idea why I chose an audition that early, and by that time it was, I mean, I had been preparing prior, but at that time I basically had 2 months max to prepare for my audition, and I think a part of me just wanted to get it over with. So the actual audition, I think, is about maximum 10 to 15 minutes. It's super quick. There's like 4 sections. It's your prepared piece, sight reading, rhythm and like ear training, and improvisation. I auditioned on November 15th in Hollywood, in the middle of Hollywood, at 8:30 in the morning on like a Thursday. So traffic was horrendous. So when I walked in, it was like a studio rental place. It was actually like super cool. It was like that's besides the point. But I walked in and there was a student that actually went to Berklee, and he was basically checking people in. So he just asked for my name and just clarified that I was auditioning on voice. A couple minutes after that, I was put into like a smaller room right outside of the waiting room. It was pretty large. It had a piano. I want to say a drum set. Don't count me to that. We had 15 minutes in this room. He basically showed me a binder that was on the piano that had, I want to say, about like 11 to 15 different sight reading exercises, and each one got progressively harder. So like 1 was pretty simple, and then 15 was like really hard. So basically you had 15 minutes to do whatever you wanted. Just knowing myself, I knew that I didn't want to spend so much time on sight reading that I kind of lost sight of the piece that I was going to be playing. I think I spent 10 minutes preparing my piece, and then I only did 5 minutes looking at sight reading. I think I only got through the first like 3 sight reading exercises. I knew going into the audition that sight reading was not going to be something that I overly excelled at, and I was completely okay with that. So after those 15 minutes, I was basically led into the audition room. There were 2 Berklee faculty. It was a man and a woman. They were both very, very nice. They made the surrounding very accommodating. I don't know if that's the right word. It was very comfortable. I felt like I could be myself without trying so hard to be myself. They just kind of calmed you down, just asked what school I went to, a little bit about my background, and then basically they just said, play your song. And I was like, okay. I saved this part of the audition for like now because I want to talk a little bit about the piece that you do. I think the idea that playing something that reflects what you love and what you're good at is so much better than playing what you think will appeal to people. I obviously wasn't gonna go in as someone who writes more folk pop-ish and go in and play something bluesy, because it's just not who I am. I chose to do an original song, which I played with a lot over the summer. A part of me said that was a horrible idea because it's kind of dangerous to play an original song, only because no one's ever heard it and you obviously don't know how people are gonna read it. But then the other part of me was that writing music is myself, and I think it's something that I love and I'm somewhat decent at. So I thought, why would I do a cover if I'm very intentful on writing music as a career? And looking back, I think choosing an original song is one of the reasons that I'm able to attend this school. But at the same time, I also think that doing a cover is an amazing way to showcase yourself vocally. But it's very important to choose a song that you know you sound great on, not really what they want to hear. I actually played my song a little more. It's demoed on my channel actually, so I'll link it below if you want to listen to it, just to get a vibe of what it was. So after that, she moved me into rhythm, which was honestly pretty self-explanatory. It was just kind of call and response stuff. She basically did it until I couldn't keep up anymore. And after that, we did sight reading. She sat down at the piano. She said, all right, like, we're just gonna start on number 1 and just go for as long as you want. And I was like, okay. She played like a chord progression and I just had to sing the melody that I was sight reading. I got up to number 3 and then we just stopped after that. I have no idea what that means. Put it this way, I think the sight reading could have been a lot worse. Obviously every audition is different, but that's just how my sight reading went. So then we moved on to improv, which, to be honest with you, it was the scariest part of my audition, which is odd because most people usually say it's sight reading, but going into it I expected to have to do something like bluesy or jazzy, and I just really was not comfortable with that kind of stuff yet. But I think my professor did a really good job of reading me as a musician, so she gave me a simple 1-5-4 chord progression that was something I was very comfortable with, and all I had to do was make a melody over it, which is what I do all day long. So it was more fun than it was thinking. So basically she just played and all I had to do was sing over it in different keys that she was playing. That was the end of my audition. Then I walked out, was led into the interview room, which was with a Berklee alumni, and she was just typing as I was talking. The questions on Berklee's website, they're like pre-audition questions where it's like, oh, review these just to see what the interview's all about. They're very helpful. They're very true to what the interview is like. They ask you about musicianship, your journey through music. They do ask you a little bit about school. And I think the biggest part of the audition is to be yourself, because if you're not, they will 100% see that. If you're passionate about making music, writing music, playing music, then that'll show. The interview is basically 10 minutes to get to know you outside of music, and it's a great way just to talk about the things you've done and the experiences you've had. So yeah. So for the last part of this video, I wanted to answer a couple questions that I'd seen floating around just in general. One was, does GPA matter? Honestly, I'd say yes to an extent. I don't think me getting in was school oriented at all. I had a pretty average GPA, and I think Berklee, honestly, obviously it's a music school, so I think they measure mostly on musical merit than academics, honestly. So the second question is, do I have to be good at all parts of the audition to get in? And my answer to that is absolutely not. Berklee is very accommodating to knowing what someone is very strong at and what you need to learn. And honestly, when you're going to music school, you're going there to learn. So do you have to be this incredible musician in order to get in? No, of course not. If you have the passion for music and you have the drive to learn music and you seem like you're on the right path, you have a very good chance of getting in. So the third question I have is, how long until you heard back? So again, I auditioned on the 15th and I heard back, I think like December 18th, so about a month. Quick, actually, so before Christmas break. So yeah, I hope this video was really helpful. I'm gonna link some stuff down below that I found extremely helpful when preparing for my audition. And just as a last thought, I've predominantly done music on this channel since I was probably like 12 or 13. That is not going to change. I love putting music on this channel. It's again something I've done since I was young. But at the same time, I'm also moving across the country to go study at Berklee. So I want to kind of document that part of my life, and honestly for entertainment purposes, but also for friends and family, since I'm not gonna be in LA anymore. So yeah, going forward, expect some more music videos, and as well as like lifestyle stuff. I kind of want to film like moving to Boston, what college is like, what music school is like. That is it for this video. I hope I answered everything. It's kind of disheveled because it's been a while since I've auditioned, but if you have any questions specifically about the audition, then feel free to comment them below and I will definitely answer them for you. Please subscribe, and if you like this video, click a like. Besides that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.